Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League for every single team. So you can look back at the end of the year and see how many teams your team has conceded, how they've conceded them, and I use my over 20 plus years coaching experience to break it down. Now, I want to show you this game right now. We're doing Aston Villa against Fulham, but immediately I want you to take an eye onto the runner here. You can see how they've been pulled out of shape, right? So, what's supposed to happen in a system if you're playing a 4-4-2 or anything where the left back or the right back steps forward, your central midfielders are supposed to run in and cover. You do not have your centre backs get pulled out and exposed into that space. You do not want that, because clearly if the centre back comes out of the middle, one of the middle's open. This guy goes on this blistering run down here. Watch this, bosh, off he goes. Do you see that guy stops and he looks, right? He actually stops to look at the ball and not just at the runner. Terrible football player. Absolutely terrible. Let's see if I can get you a little better shot. Here we go. My rewinding skills aren't exactly top notch and the software I'm using is pretty rubbish. But you can see, right, as he goes, he stops, instead of just running with the guy, and now he's exposed. All of a sudden, look what's happening. Centre-back is getting pulled out of shape here. Completely and utterly terrible. I mean, this is stuff, if you're doing this at under 14s level, I'd be kicking you off my team. These are professional football players. The standard in coaching around the world has been going down for the last 15 years. It's awful. I mean, absolutely awful. So then what ends up happening is you put yourself in a situation where the centre-back is 1v1 against their striker. But look, he's kind of like running back. He's looking over his shoulder a little bit. He's not sure what to do because there should be two people in here. But don't worry, our midfielder over here as well, he's standing around not doing anything as well, because that's what we do in the Premier League. We don't run back in. When this central defender, if this was my team and I was coaching, as soon as that central defender's been sucked out, that central midfielder is running back in and playing centre-back straight away. That's what he's doing, because he knows he's out of shape, he's out of position, and he's waiting for him to come back in. Not here. He stands here and just holds his ground and lets the guy be completely free. As he makes this little, oh, boof, there's the guy that hits it in the ball. Oh, quality. See, no one has a clue what's going on because no one really knows their jobs, roles and responsibilities. And everyone is getting caught out. Everyone. You've got numbers and you're having it 1v1 here. 1v1 and 1v1. It's awful overall. The left back is completely useless here. Sorry, the left back, he doesn't know what to do. And you can see the centre back is getting pulled away. When the left back, it's just terrible defending. There's so many sort of individual efforts here that's gone awry. To be fair, I thought this guy got a little flick on header, which he doesn't do. But yeah, we can see the quality finish then. It's just a little tap in, bump, and away we go. But good goal there. Aston Villa are playing good football. And if you want to watch how to pull teams apart, you can watch how Aston Villa possess the ball, because we're probably going to come on to one of those, how they pull somebody apart, just like they did there with that inside run. Sorry, outside. Right now, if we do, as this ball comes in, you can see Fulham's back line is all over the place. You can't spot anything that's going on with their system or shape at all. It's just being pulled apart because they do not have discipline. Right now, you're going to have, here's your left back. Well, he's technically playing as a centre-back. Your two centre-backs are pulled out of position. The whole thing is an absolute mess, and it leads to this sort of stuff happening. People challenging for the ball that shouldn't be, diving over, and he heads the ball. And because normally centre-backs do that, and centre-backs are good when they head the ball, finding the feet of their central midfielders and not just knocking the ball forward. This guy does that, knocks it forward, gives away possession. If you think it's a good challenge, but it's really not. And then all of a sudden the second ball is won because he doesn't put it into the right areas for his team to win it. Look, even now you can see that the shape is getting pulled apart. He's screaming for the ball out here, and because he's asking for it, he's immediately running, assuming he's going to get it, which is terrible defending if you're a centre-back, because you're looking, if he runs away from the middle, he's leaving this player open here, because where's this guy immediately running to? He's going back over here as well. Do you see, look, we've got two players going to mark a player that isn't getting the ball, and they both open up the gap in the middle. Look at how horrible that is. Two idiots chasing shadows over here because he might pass the ball over here and they leave a guy free in the middle. But it doesn't matter because this guy's now realised, well, there's no centre-backs and I can just smash the ball in the net box. So he does. Quality finish. Keeper should have done better. Defenders are terrible. Why are you chasing players out wide here when they're not receiving the ball? Here's the ball. We got pressure on it. What does idiot number one here do on the ball, though? Does he put pressure on the ball or does he dive in? He dives in and he's terrible at football. What are you doing? It's just terrible. I can remember when we were running coaching patterns in certain clubs, and you can see the players that can't play football, but they've been coached. So what we mean by that is they're coached to run a system, they're coached to run patterns of play, but if the system or the pattern of play isn't one of those, they can't play. So if someone's got a bit of skill and dribbles around and they don't know what to do because it's not a part of the system, it's not the pattern of play. And that's exactly what's happening right there. It's terrible defending and even worse coaching, to be honest. Okay, so Fulham are on the attack. They've got the ball. Easy, right? You can see you're getting put under pressure here. You've got a couple of outlets to play the pass. You've got one over here, and that's probably about it right now. What does he do? He completely mishits it, loses the ball, gets tackled, and now we're on a counter-attack. The reason why transitions are easier to score on is because your whole team, the defending team, is up here playing footsies with their defenders up here. Oh, here they are. Everyone's up here being idiots. So you can counter-attack quite easily. But watch this. This is quite unique. When this guy picks up the ball here, he notices that he's the furthest player forward. Okay? And what bad players will do is, when you're a terrible football coach or you're bad at the football, you will try to sprint as hard as you can to that halfway line, which is the wrong choice because you are the furthest player forward. Now, people go, oh, but Marcus Rashford and Mo Salah, and yeah, they're really, really, really quick players and they're going to be everybody. And that's probably maybe a handful of players in the world that can do that. If you're not that, just run with the ball slowly. What this guy does, look what he does. Just runs with it slowly, into the space, and lets everybody else do the sprinting. Lets the rest of his teammate do the sprinting. He's just keeping the ball, not trying to get too close to these guys, but making space forward, eating the space, using the space forward. Brilliantly done. Absolutely brilliantly done. Slowly taking the ball forward, and look, here comes his teammates. Lots of pace. They can run faster. They don't have the ball. Slowly getting there, then he plays the ball. He's done his job now. Now he needs to get back up and try to get back in the box. Great. Good job. Now this guy can now sprint as hard as he wants because he's only got 1/3 of the field left to go. Right? Think about that. He's got this here to go. If the other guy was doing it, he'd have this bit to do and this bit to do. It's too much. So he's done it perfectly well. And then handed off the baton on the relay race for someone else to go and try to finish off the goal. Here we go. Bosh. Off he goes. Now, you can see he doesn't go with acceleration. If this was like a Rashford, he would have put his foot down, gone straight past that player and tried to get his shot off. That's what he would have tried to do, right? He doesn't try to do that. He stops and waits for support because he knows that, well, he can't do that. And there's one good thing with good players. They only do what they can do. They don't try to beat that player for pace because he knows he can't do it. But what he can do is stop, hold the ball and wait for support. He knows he can do that, so that's what he does. He doesn't try to beat that player, lose it on the shot, and then nothing happens. Holds up, waits for his teammate. Off he comes on the overlap. Everyone's crowded the ball. No one's bothered to go with the runner. Look, they've all started falling asleep. He's not quite sure what to do because they're all in transition. They're not set up properly. Little dink behind, perfectly done. And all of a sudden they're set to tap the ball in on the back post. Really, really well orchestrated goal. It shows how far Aston Villa have come on and the players' understanding of what to do in a counter-attack situation. If this was Villa under Steven Gerrard, they would have lost that ball going forward. He would have been going, run, run, Forrest, run. And instead of just slowly waiting, adding more players, building, getting further down the field, running the overlap, putting in the quality pass, for quality delivery and getting a goal. That's really, really good football there. That means Villa, if they keep doing this, they're going to be a danger in the Premier League to bigger teams, and they're going to batter all the little ones because they can actually play football. It's looking good. Let's look at the last goal from Fulham. As we can see what's happening right here, this guy's got the ball down here. He's just playing a long ball. There's runners coming in behind. There's two players with him. They should both be going with a runner. Okay? And of course, the runner's got his done his run quite well because the line's about there. So he's got acres of space to run into. And off he goes. Bosh. Off he goes. Do you see the two players that were with him stopped? Going, oh, he's going to be offside. No, when the runner's at pace like that and the ball's going, you run with him. You run with him. And it turns out it just turns into a simple tap-in. That's a simple way of playing, okay? And there's a couple of reasons they've been caught out here. One, Villa's line is a little bit too high. Look how high their line is. And there's not enough pressure on the ball. And that's where they've got caught out. They'll probably get caught out a couple more times doing that. Just because they're not used to playing that high line with pressure on the ball. They're not. It's a difficult system to play. They're learning it. Bosh, and it taps in, and there we go. We got a goal. But Villa are going to be one to watch. But other than that, thanks for watching Cash Talks Football. See you next time.